Hello and welcome to our channel. Today, we aren't just looking at the life of an ordinary man. Today, we are talking about a mountain of a human being, a symbol of resilience, and the father of peace. Who is Nelson Mandela, the man who spent 27 years in a cramped prison cell and taught the world love instead of hatred, and forgiveness instead of revenge? From a village herd boy to the presidency, from an armed rebel to a Nobel Peace Prize laureate, we will analyze his incredible journey today in detail. Stay with us until the end. Now, let's dive into the story. Nelson Mandela was born on July 18, 1918, in a small village called Mvezo in the Transkei region of South Africa. His father, Gadla Henry Mfakanieswa, was a councillor to the royal family of the Thembu people and a village chief. Mandela grew up herding cattle and living amidst nature, where the life of black people at the time was simple, and far from the noise of the city. At birth, he was given the name Rolahlala. In his language, it literally means pulling the branch of a tree, but idiomatically, it means troublemaker. This name was a great prophecy for his future life, as he became the one to disturb and dismantle the established system of racism. When Mandela started his first day of school, his teachers gave him the name Nelson because it was mandatory to give students European names. No one at the time guessed that this name would emerge in world history as a global symbol of freedom. When his father died when he was only 9 years old, Mandela was raised under the guardianship of the King of Thembuland. The years he spent in the King's Palace were his great school, where he learned the art of leadership, human equality, and traditional methods of debate. There, he realized during elder councils that every person has the right to speak and that a leader must first be a listener. To pursue higher education, he went to Fort Hare University. However, he was suspended from his studies after leading a student protest regarding student rights and an election boycott. This was Mandela's first real taste of political activism. To escape an arranged marriage set by the king, he fled from the countryside to Johannesburg. There, he began to lead his own life, working as a guard and in various day jobs. This journey was a major bridge that transitioned him from a country boy to the world of urban politics. During his stay in Johannesburg, he met Walter Sisulu. Sisulu became his great friend and mentor, introducing him to the African National Congress, ANC, and encouraging him to complete his law degree. In 1944, Mandela, Sisulu, and Oliver Tambo founded the ANC Youth League. Their goal was to push the organization beyond words and toward actual mass protests, strikes, and peaceful demonstrations. In 1948, when the White National Party came to power, apartheid, racial segregation, officially became law. The rights of black people to move, vote, and live were severely restricted. Mandela made the struggle the central focus of his life. In 1952, Mandela led a peaceful protest called the Defiance Campaign, mobilizing thousands of people. He challenged the system by leading black people into restricted areas without carrying passes. Because of this, he was arrested for the first time. Alongside Oliver Tambo, he established the first black-run law firm, known as Mandela and Tambo. This firm was the only hope for justice and support for black people suffering under apartheid laws. In 1955, the Freedom Charter was adopted at a historic People's Congress. The charter held the firm principle that South Africa belongs to all who live in it, black and white, and no government can justly claim authority unless it is based on the will of all the people. In 1956, Mandela and 155 of his comrades were charged with high treason against the state. The trial lasted for 5 years, during which Mandela used his legal knowledge to defend himself and his friends, eventually resulting in an acquittal. In 1960, police opened fire on black people protesting peacefully in Sharperville, killing 69 people. This event led Mandela to the conclusion that peaceful struggle alone could not overthrow a system of such cruelty. When the government banned the ANC, Mandela began to operate in secret because the police could not catch him and he moved around using various European disguises, he was nicknamed the Black Pimpernel. Mandela became the leader of the ANC's armed wing, Umkhonto we Sizwe, Spear of the Nation. His goal was to weaken the system by attacking government, infrastructure without causing loss of human life. In 1962, Mandela secretly left the country to travel to various African nations. During his stay in Ethiopia, he received military training and met with Emperor Haile Selassie to gain support for the struggle. This trip helped him realize the absolute necessity of African unity. Upon returning to South Africa in August 1962, he was captured by the police. He was initially sentenced to 5 years in prison for leaving the country without a permit and inciting people to strike. While Mandela was in prison, police discovered the secret hideout of his comrades. This led to the formation of the new Rivonia trial, which put them all at risk of the death penalty. In April 1964, during the trial, Mandela famously stated, "I have fought against white domination, and I have fought against black domination. I have cherished the ideal of a democratic and free society. It is an ideal for which I am prepared to die." On June 12, 1964, Mandela and 7 of his comrades were sentenced to life imprisonment. They were taken to Robben Island, a hellish place designed for political prisoners. Mandela was assigned the prisoner number 466-64, as he was the 466th prisoner of 1964. He lived 4 years in a tiny cell, sleeping on a stone floor. He was forced to break limestone in the harsh sun every day. However, he turned that place into a university for teaching other prisoners, where they secretly discussed struggle strategies. While in prison, his mother and his son died, but he was not allowed to attend their funerals. His wife, Winnie Mandela, also faced extreme suffering and harassment from the government, which was the greatest psychological test for Mandela. In the 1980s, the cry of "Free Mandela" flooded the world. The international community imposed heavy economic and diplomatic sanctions on the apartheid government. As the government weakened, it began to talk to Mandela in secret, even from prison. Mandela engaged in wise negotiations that saved the country from a bloody civil war, convincing the white population that they would have security under a black-led government. After 27 years in prison, on February 11, 1990, Nelson Mandela walked out of Victor Verster prison a free man. With his fist raised high, millions of people welcomed him with joy. Mandela and President F.W. de Klerk jointly won the Nobel Peace Prize in the first democratic election held in 1994. Mandela was elected as the first black president of South Africa. Mandela chose forgiveness over revenge. By establishing the Truth and Reconciliation Commission, he allowed perpetrators to speak their truth and find forgiveness, so the country could move forward in unity. After serving only 1 term, he stepped down from power voluntarily. On December 5, 2013, the world said goodbye to the great father of peace. Mandela will live forever as a symbol of peace, resilience, and forgiveness for the world. The story of Nelson Mandela teaches us one thing: it always seems impossible until it's done. The price Mandela paid for human equality and the heart of forgiveness he showed remains a great lesson for all of us today. What did you learn from today's history presentation? What is your respect or opinion of Mandela? Share it with us in the comments below. If you like the video, don't forget to like and share it. Which famous person's story would you like us to cover next? Write your thoughts to us. Until we meet in the next video, stay peaceful. Ciao.